Um, oh yeah,
So tell me what you've been up to this week. Obviously, we had the Valiant Mentality party.
obviously.
That went well. But
Dude, we did a lot better than I thought we did. We made some good money on the bar tab.
hell yeah. What is it, a 50-50?
We get 20%.
50 would be nice, huh?
I
That'd
guess
be
so.
wild.
I mean, Tanner brought up, was it 50-50 at 1.2? I'm like, no, dude, they do everything. They provide the drinks. They
They got the venue.
the venue, they clean up. We don't clean up or anything. It's great.
Yeah, 20% is pretty good, honestly.
It is when it's considered alcohol,
Yeah.
We made $500. So
Hell yeah.
that means 2,000 they made. So the mathematician.
Yeah. Yo, let's talk the state of the industry.
State of the Union.
Oh, yes, sir. I feel like now more than ever, people have to look at themselves as a producer and a studio. Whether you're an actor, writer, director, you're your own producer. You got to learn how this shit works. Because if you want to be in the driver's seat, dude, that's something that has been a light bulb for me, like within the last couple weeks, is you think if you're the director, got a lot of camera movement going on right now. You think if you're the director, you have all the control. And
That's interesting.
well, if you're brought on by a producer, or yeah, if there's any kind of producer in any project that you're doing as a director, you don't, I mean, director isn't king, producer is king.
I think it depends what type of director you are, how far along you are.
Of course. I mean, same goes for everything, right? If you're an
Yeah.
actor, you
Yeah.
get certain privileges, get that trailer.
If you're a big dog actor, you're basically a producer and stuff.
Yeah, but you're a producer, and that's the point, right? It's like you actually have a hand in the thing. And I was under the impression, mostly because I do most of my stuff on my own, like shorts and everything. It's like, I get to call the shots in a lot of ways. But when you're on these bigger projects, you have to get in, either you have to set yourself up as a producer from the get, and then you've got all that control, or you have to make yourself, you know, you have to get to a certain stature to where you'll be considered for a position like that. But
What are
that's what I
you,
think.
yeah, what are you learning this through? Is there something that's being forcing this lesson upon you?
It's mostly that, I mean, it's mostly in broad strokes as far as I'm realizing that, like, I have to understand how the money moves. I have to understand how to look at a script and break it down using current rates of, like, what is the budget? How, like, what's the schedule? How do I draft a PPM in order to approach investors? It's like a lot of these missing gaps of information that I'm starting to fill in because I have to. Because if I want that creative control, I can't just rely. Look, even if like the best case scenario, and if this shit happened, like 100% I'd take it, right? But like if New Line called and was like, we want you on the next, whatever Conjuring spinoff,
Yeah.
then of course I'd take it. But at the same time, like, look, it's really fucking exciting, right? It's a huge step. But once you're actually in that position, yeah, you get to, make choices about certain camera moves and actor behavior and all that kind of stuff. But like when you're looking at it from a bird's eye view, the director is, I mean, it's almost like the same relationship from a director to an actor as it is from a producer to a director. Does that make sense? And I'm not saying that an actor has less autonomy, but I'm looking at it more as like a bird's eye view type thing. Like an actor, they have their,
An actor does have less autonomy than the director.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it, but it's true.
Oh yeah, you sure? Yeah. The actor is a piece of the puzzle. The director is putting the puzzle together.
But they're also a piece of the bigger puzzle.
I guess it's the piece of the puzzle that's seen. How about that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
dude, take nothing away from the pieces. The pieces without them, there'd be no puzzle.
it's true. It's profound.
Look at that. Metaphors all over the place. And the producer is the person that got the puzzle in the first place. No, yeah. um, Obviously, to be a good director, an experienced director knows they can budget it just by, I mean, mainly actually that's probably on paper a producer's job. This is get a script and say, all right, we can cut costs here. This is how much this is going to cost, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, especially indie filmmaking, you got to know that stuff. At the end of the day, the bare bones of each job shouldn't be that mysterious. It goes back to the simplest things. Even on a New Line Conjuring movie, a director is taking the script, bringing it to life, and they're the ones that get to ultimately have a say on who's cast, who's this, who's that, who's that. Now the exception, no, that's the rule. The exceptions are when a producer happens to be a big shot and they throw their power around, or the producers are also an actor, or they're wearing multiple hats, so they get even more power, an executive producer, what have you, and then they get to make a final cut. Like on my dad's movie, he was the writer, producer, starred, he did everything except for directed in it,
So
basically.
he didn't give director final cut.
Nope. He
Thank God for that situation.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
They would have made a shitty movie.
Actually, question on that. If a director is final cut, I guess it's however the contract is like specifically outlined.
Generally, they don't have final cut. I don't think. The producer always comes back. What's that?
You're saying they don't usually?
I don't think they do. They have the director's cut. Yeah.
You're right. But like,
submit.
let's say a director had that written in his contract that he gets final cut. Does the director then in that case get to come out with literally any version of the movie? Could he completely fuck over a project?
Yeah.
I'm asking. Yeah.
Well, directors like Ridley Scott, Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, they are producers. They're the biggest producers. They're the directors.
Right.
They're everything. A lot of times Tarantino is the writer as well. It's who happens to hold the power. Generally, probably the directors, but there's a reason the Academy Awards producers carry the award. They keep the award if the movie wins Best Picture. So anyway, I mean, look, it's fun to talk about all the business sides of it. At the end of the day, that's all experience and understanding of the different roles so that you can be better suited to do your job better.
Yeah. And it's about control. It's like, how much control do you want? If you don't care about anything and you're like, I'll just show up and, whatever, then that's cool. Like stick to your acting or whatever. But like, it's about control. Dude, something that I'm learning, I think I probably touched on this last week, but when it comes to producing, what I've learned is, because I'm doing a lot more of it now, like trying to get this first feature off the ground. A lot of it has to do with getting one, because it is like a puzzle. It's getting one piece of the puzzle excited about the thing. And then you can take that excitement and bring it over to this other piece of the puzzle and be like, yo, just so you know, this person's interested, blah, blah, blah. Like, are you interested? And then you take those two pieces, you bring it to this. And it's like every single production is going to be different in terms of how the pieces fit in and what pieces they are. But like examples of pieces are like talent, right? That's the most like convincing one. Like if you have a named talent, that will move things along a lot quicker. And something that I've been finding is, and this is without naming specifics, just because in this case I can't because things are so preliminary, but you could have a shot if you reach directly out to certain pieces of talent. I mean, not all the time, but sometimes they will get back if they respond to a log line or something and they want to read the script. And you could get eyes on your script from talent that could then loop in reps afterwards, as opposed to, so taking like a backdoor approach as opposed to going to the front line, which like typically when you go straight to an agent, for example, I think managers are usually more willing to pass material along, but like if you go straight to an agent, first question they're going to ask is how, like, is the money secured in the bank? Like, is it all there? What is the rate before even telling their client about, like, if you're a no-name producer and you approach an agent, that's going to be the line of questions. But
Oh yeah.
actors are typically, I mean, almost always more emotional creatures than agents, which is why I can like relate to actors more. And so they want to do good projects. Obviously, they want a good payday, but agents' main objective is getting that cut. So that's what they're always going to be looking out for first. But you could get in through the back door and it could surprise you, you know, getting certain eyes on your project from a piece of talent, going about it directly.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to get looks. Where are you at with your movie right now?
I'm getting I'm getting it read by some pieces of talent.
Just pieces of them, not the whole thing.
Well, not every role. Some pieces are larger than others, you know, so you want to cast the leads first. So getting that in, and thinking, dude, it's like a three-pronged thing. You've got distribution, you've got talent, and you've got investors. Those are like the three pieces of the pie. Because, and it's all like a chicken and egg game. Like, but if you were to get a piece of talent, the distro clicks in, and then if you take like an LOI from talent and distro to investors, it's like that. Like you'll get the money like that. But it's all about when the pieces come and how you play it.
Right. So what do you so you're trying to get it to talent, so to speak, now?
That's the first step. Because if you get name talent in your thing, it moves quick. But it is also the hardest to secure.
Is it now?
Yeah, bro.
You'd always get it in someone's hands that's like a financier that's super wealthy, that's trying to just take a chance on some fun Hollywood script.
Get a tax credit.
Yeah.
So,
Is that the dream for everyone?
yeah. That could work too, man. You find the right investor and it could work that way. Everything's different. I the part I have least experience in is pitching directly to investors without like any other pieces, which is what I'm working on right
How do
now.
you even get in the room with investors?
It's about first having the right pitch together, meaning you need to have a correct budget breakdown. You need to have a comparative analysis of your film with other films that are in the right budget and
Oh, but I'm saying literally, how do you get those meetings?
well, first, what I'm saying is first you need to have those materials ready because if you, but as far as like actually approaching them, so you have all that stuff ready, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the best way to go about it is the friend of a friend thing.
Yeah, it's family and friends. It's just like any company. Raising money, you go to family and friends first.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, dude, if you have an uncle, uncle specifically in your situation, but
I
like,
mean,
yeah, yeah. But most people, you know, if Jimmy, if you have like a crazy rich uncle and you're like, here are my like pitch materials and like that's obviously the best way to go. Most people aren't in that situation. So most people have an uncle who has like a friend who's a dentist or some shit, or even people who've already invested in stuff. But like, even if you just have a friend of a friend who's a dentist and you have all the right things in play,
always comes back to the dentist.
well, it's just an example. Like you could be approaching investors who have invested in film. But if it's a dentist who has invested in other things besides film, they're still looking at the same stuff. It's like widgets. Like film is just a riskier investment. So like they would approach the film investment the same way they'd look at like medical investment or something.
Junk bond.
What?
A junk bond, high risk.
Yes, it is
Nice.
high risk.
Yeah, yeah, a little finance there for you.
Yeah.
Continue.
So yeah, man, it's just about being prepared. It's about, but it's not as complicated as people make it out to be.
Have
Like
you had one of those pitch meetings yet to an investor?
I haven't. I haven't. I still have to get my materials ready. I'm working on that. I opened my LLC for Burnt Mill like last night. And I gotta open the LLC for the thanks, bro. I gotta open the LLC for uh it's weird how film
How
works.
much is it for an LLC? It's like $100.
To file in California, it's like 80.
Yeah.
And then I think yearly taxes are like 800 or something.
Oof.
Yeah, steep. But puts on that pressure.
Yeah, that's true. Well, do you have a meeting lined up for that?
For investors.
Yeah.
I'm still learning how to break down, like I still have to break down my script with current rates.
See, obviously my dad has more experience, but when he goes to investors, I think it's all story. Like it's like we're gonna do this, movie, gonna shoot it cheap. Yeah, he has an idea of what he can shoot it for. And he goes, it's gonna be cheap. You're gonna be able to be on the set. He's a fun guy. It's like, why is this investment for you gonna be so much more fun than any other lame investment you can make? And it's like, well, you're gonna be making this with us. We're gonna get the premiere, we're gonna get in film festivals no matter what. This movie is gonna be funny, it's gonna crack people up. Obviously, that's the case with your movies too.
Dude, that's definitely an approach. And a lot of the movie, and because movie investments are so risky to begin with,
But
but
yeah, it's got to be an experience for them. You got to make it worthwhile.
I like that that's the angle your dad takes.
Yeah.
So he's not even being like, this is the percent ROI you could get from this film. He's just strictly like, it's a good time. You can hang out.
Yeah.
You can be an exec producer.
Yeah, it's like we're in this together. It's your shot at Hollywood, baby.
Yeah. I mean, dude, obviously it's working.
What do you think these dentists, as you said, are thinking? Like, if they're gonna invest in basically giving their money away, what's in it for them?
Mm-hmm. I do want to have that understanding though. Like, definitely that like sexy approach, I think is part of it. But I do also want to, like, if I approach an investor and they're gonna back out because they don't have a full understanding of like the percentage.
Demonstrate that you know what you're gonna do with their money.
Right.
And that does take a lot to learn. Like, very good direction to go in. I'm just saying that's only one piece of it.
Totally.
You want to get this money. You don't want to just prove that you could do something with it. Learn to, and you are good at that. I just thought it was good food for thought.
Bro, completely.
Yeah.
I love that that's what your dad focuses on.
Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of assuming that. I haven't really seen him, but I've seen him in a lot of pitches for other things. So yeah.
Have you seen him pitch to investors?
I've seen him with investors for the movie.
Like just hanging out or what?
Yeah, because you become friends with them,
Dude, I feel like that'd be, bro, if you could bring on like an investor in film who's like maybe worked with your dad and we could pick on his brain on like how he thinks about projects, that'd be really enlightening.
I know just the guy. I know just the guy.
Oh,
Adam
yeah.
Weintraub. Yeah, he probably appreciate it. He's a funny guy. He's a poker player.
Nice.
He's already a gambler by nature.
Yeah. Maybe that's who we should just go after, is just poker players.
Literally just stock tournaments.
Yeah. With my script.
It's something. Word. Well, look,
That's my spiel.
Yeah.
That's a long rant, but yeah, that's all the stuff I'm focused on right now. It's just like learning that whole fucking blind spot. I want to learn like I want to learn what international distributors talk about at like con. Like I want to
talk to my roommate Zion.
Yeah, we got to have him on too.
I have him on maybe next week.
Yeah.
He's a
what does he do again?
Agent producer. He's an agent and producer.
Hell yeah.
And he's foreign distribution and stuff.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking lit. That's the blind spot that like all artists have. We have no idea how this shit works. Like, I just don't.
Yeah, yeah, you got to be an artist that actually gets stuff done. And in order to do that, it's not just like putting that stuff on a pedestal either, because
Yeah.
those people will be able to sense if you're like
Yep.
selling to them for the business stuff. They're only looking at the creative stuff because you're excited. You're excited for the
Yeah.
creative, infectious. But at the in fact, it's almost, depending on who your audience is, it's almost a better angle to like, a lot of directors are too cool for the investors. They don't even fucking talk to them, you know? Like they literally don't. They're like, shoot fly. Go producer, you'll talk to the investors. But the type of person we are, especially starting out, you have to wear all the hats.
Mhm.
And it's only going to make, when later on, when you can sit back and have other people do the jobs for you, you're
Yeah.
going to be able to teach them how to do the job right. And at the end of the day, you always have to do the job yourself anyway.
Yep. And you can like I want to be able to sniff out when like a producer is trying to fuck me over like a
Yeah,
small thing, you know? Can you imagine the amount of power you'd have just knowing, and then like people will know that they can't fuck with you. It's just having that understanding of like every piece of this.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, bro, that's my spiel. What do you got going on?
I like it. I like it. A little this, a little that. Started working with a life coach. Funny enough,
How's that going?
I
Tell me
had my
about that.
actually.
What is a life coach and how do you find this person?
Um, so it's my brother's podcast partner. My brother does a podcast called Dare to Dream with Greg Benedict. And Greg was in finance and he gave it up to be a life coach because he wants to help people. And essentially, I think of it as like therapy. It's 1 hour, and we kind of have a few different boxes of categories of like my life stuff. And just gonna be creating goals and working on them weekly. We have a couple goals this week I'm working on. And what's that?
What are your goals?
I'm gonna keep them private, respectfully. I don't want to be held that accountable. No, yeah. In due time, in due time. But he's my dad asked me if I wanted to see a therapist, and I was like, oh, this is kind of nice because he's like my age. I kind of feel like there's something to that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I also I feel like a life coach like that would be more helpful than therapy, honestly. Because therapy, it's like you're just kind of going back in the past and you're like, yeah, like this is how I felt as a child. It's like I want to move forward, you know?
Yeah, no, that's how my mom thinks. My mom's a life coach, by the way, too.
I
And
can do
she says the
that.
exact same thing. She doesn't dwell on stuff as much. She's more into like the nature of thought and how to become the best version of yourself, kind of.
Yeah.
Same thing with this guy. And I've kind of wanted like a sounding board, someone to reflect with, a therapist, since I was in that it was actually just a business of acting class at my acting studio. And each week we'd come in with a group, you'd have 15 minutes on just you, and you'd share what your goals were from the previous week, how you did on them, and then you'd get feedback and then recommendations what goals are for the next week. And it was very like put you on the front foot, man. I was getting shit done.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of itching for that, and this is definitely, it's a lot of attention, an hour for myself instead of 15.
Fuck yeah, dude. I think that's a great move.
Uh-huh.
Checking in for an hour about your goals.
I know.
It's like, bro, like the amount of focused attention you've got now for, and also knowing that it's coming up to, and he's gonna ask. He's gonna
Yeah.
be like, yo, like, where are you at?
Which, by the way, in the class I did before, like people would beat themselves up if they hadn't done their stuff. I'm already used to that. I know I probably err too much on the side of like chilling. In fact, I've had to tell myself, like, make it a priority to like really take this seriously. Almost making it like competitive with myself. Like, how much can I just, yeah. Yeah.
Is it
That
mostly acting stuff?
uh no, actually, especially not right now, because I haven't had auditions or anything. But in fact, my thing with acting this week was to think of some goals.
Hmm.
Maybe you and I can think of some. Doesn't that sound fun?
Goals for acting specifically, or any goals?
Goals for acting and writing.
Huh.
Um,
Dude, my one of my favorite things are goals for writing. If I'm being honest, like the happiest that I am is when, and this happens so rarely, bro, is also not to like take over, like I want you to finish. But for me, like when I'm in on a grind and I'm like, okay, I have to finish the script. And it takes me months to tee up to this place where I'm like finally grinding on a script. But when I'm in that zone for like a month, waking up at like 5 a.m. and fucking crushing it out, you
yeah,
feel like you're making so much progress. But it's rare. It's rare to get to that place mentally.
you're in the zone with it.
But
I,
anyway, you got to think of your goals for acting and writing. I got you.
no, yeah, that's one thing. Value mentality. I'm doing the Silver Lake Flea Market Saturday. By the way, Tanner and Marissa are out of town. There's no chance I could tempt you to help me on Saturday, is there?
Dude, I'd be down. I've just got some wedding planning that I'm doing with like Autumn and her friend. What is it, the morning?
The morning, and honestly, if you just help me set up, that's all I need. You're an early riser anyway, right? I'd give you some swag. I'd try to make it
Bro,
worth it.
fuck that. Fuck that. I'm down. Let's do it.
Dude, that is a lifesaver.
100%. Just
Oh
text me
man, what a
like
good moment this call just captured.
just text me like the time and where it's at. I'll be there.
You're such a G, bro. We're gonna have fun.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh, what a good thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good.
oh man, amen. Do you get to go out to East LA ever? I haven't really been in a while.
East LA is a weird one. I've been there a few times, but
Wow. Practically never, eh?
yeah.
Well, you live in Hollywood though,
Yeah.
so you're not far from it.
What's in East LA?
Silver Lake, Los Feliz, downtown LA.
Hey, right. Silver Lake for sure. Yeah.
So this is the Silver Lake Flea Market.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like in a parking lot, probably a jivey little area. I hear it's really young market. Um, but we'll stay.
This is your first time going to this one?
Yeah.
Always been Studio City.
Yep.
Cool.
We've done a few different ones. So this is Saturday morning. I'll text you the info, but it starts at 8:30 a.m. I probably gonna get there at like 7:45. Um,
Van.
not doing the van this time, just doing a booth, have a tent and a table and a chair. I'm gonna bring two chairs.
All the essentials.
Naturally. Um, yeah, it'll be good to, we have a lot of inventory now. So we've been selling good with the hats and shirts, decent. We had like a couple sales, just trying to, we're talking with that guy. I had a phone call with that guy the other day. The marketing guy. Sounds kind of exciting. And we're doing it. I'm looking into maybe doing like a finance job as a day job in the future.
Really? How come?
Yeah. I've been thinking about it for a while. Um, make just more money during the
Yeah.
day. So I don't know if I'm gonna
Totally
jump.
unrelated to like goals, like Hollywood goal type shit.
It is. But yeah,
Accountant.
no, I'd be like wealth management.
Nice.
So it's like it's another job that like if you're good with people and stuff, you find clients to bring into your firm.
Cool.
It's wild. It'd be a 180 for sure.
Look, man, I get it. Like the whole day job thing, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully Value Mentality could help me out soon. But yeah, my buddies, I was talking to them about like finance. I'm like, I don't want to be another real estate actor that does real estate. And they're like, dude, do wealth management. Like, you'd be great. You'd like take people out to party and like play pickleball.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Make money. And it would like help acting and that mentality potentially.
I don't think that like actors or writers, whatever, should necessarily like have their day job in the entertainment industry. Like entertainment industry pays shit. And also,
Awful industry.
yeah, dude, all like the rule of thumb is when you graduate film school and you want to be a director or whatever, you should like be on sets as a PA. But like I know people who do that and they're so exhausted by the end of it. They don't get paid shit. They're working like, 16-hour days and then they don't have the energy to direct their own shit. So it's like I don't I don't know. You've done like the day job entertainment thing, right?
Yep. Worked at World Poker Tour for a while. I did the PAing thing. It's all shitty.
Everyone says like you make connections, but I don't think you really do.
Some people love it. You become a tribe with the people you're working with, the grips and whatnot. And you end up just loving it. I mean, yeah, we have a buddy that he's worked big movies and stuff as a PA, like huge movies, and he's trying to get into the Directors Guild. I think that's what he's doing. And it's like a way to do it, but
Why does he think it's helpful? Because he met some people that like ADs and
he
stuff.
got into like a good system, and I think he's trying to work his way up to be like, assistant AD on like big stuff. I guess he's gonna try to go through like the feature or the studio film. That's the way to do it. But I don't know if he has time to really write any of his stuff or anything.
Yeah. Bro, the amount of time that it takes to write like a great screenplay is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
My dad's trudging away at the screen.
Yeah.
So funny.
I like sold the thing and he set it up before he even like had the finalized script.
He doesn't have official funding yet, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, but he we've been going to dinner a bunch lately, and he'll like whip out the computer. He's like, "You have to look at the updates," and he writes it like it's like paragraphs, then a picture. Like this is this character, and it's like a picture of like me, and like And then it's like the next outline with like quotes. So he writes it like a very detailed outline, but he's deep and it's fun. I heard him pitch it to someone the other day. You just tell someone about it. And I had respectfully, I gave him some notes. I said, Dad, your pitch is too elaborate on these things. Should have just been this, which is like more, I just made it more simple, more fun. I love to appeal to people's emotions. And I'm not being gimmicky, but when I tell someone about something, I try to relate to them.
Yeah. Bro, emotion drives all this shit. Like even your dad's pitches to people like about story and yeah, it's fun, like all this stuff. And I have a horror filmmaking friend who's kind of in the same boat as me. Like he's done a bunch of shorts and stuff. And he'll pitch stuff to people and he knows right away. And I've had this too, where it's like, if it's a good pitch or not. Because if it's not, you just see their soul, like
Oh yeah.
their body. Like
So
their eyes just glaze over, and it's so they can't fake it. Like it's
no.
instant. They just check out, even if they're trying to be interested or like
So sad.
their fucking soul leaves, dude.
Or how about like I've had it on all levels, but I have had it when you try to talk about something and someone will they'll be like, and they like literally turn away. But yeah, like when I bring up like one of my shows I'm writing or anything about myself, and then you see people literally just like, ooh, like that.
Yeah.
I'm actually probably better than most at taking it. I'm just like, well,
Yeah.
sometimes I know people also don't mean it sometimes. Maybe they just something triggered them in a wrong way too. I probably do the same thing. Although I find it hard to believe I would have that reaction because I'm so attuned to it. I really try not to have that reaction.
Yeah, dude. I've I've learned that I need to check in with people pretty early on to see if it's a good enough idea because the worst thing is like not really asking anyone, not checking in with anyone, and just writing an entire fucking script and going through that whole process. And then you bring up the idea. Like it all starts with the idea. That's why people buy tickets. That's why people like that's what gets people excited. It's literally like the two lines. It's not how well you've written the script. Like all that stuff's
Like
gravy.
if I'm telling people about Killers of the Flower Moon coming out Friday, if I'm trying,
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Hey, did you guys hear that Martin Scorsese's got a new movie coming out? It's from a book, a real story, the tragedy of like the Indians in Oklahoma that found oil and the white people that came in and married into their families to take it from them, really. But it's about love and this relationship that even though it was scary, they still ended up having there's shades of gray and everything. And that's really, I assume, on some level what the movie's about, and that's it.
Yeah, dude. That movie looks great.
I don't know. I don't know. The verdict is yet to be out. A lot of people said the book was pretty sick.
What do you think about the trailer? Did you see it?
I did. I don't know if I could take Robert De Niro seriously in like a Midwest
Dude,
twang accent.
bro, I agree with that. I agree, man.
Irishman already turned me off, where he played like all the prosthetics and stuff, and he had the real awkward like kicking and stuff.
Wait, who you're talking about De Niro in this?
Yeah, in the Irishman.
Oh, an Irishman.
Yeah. How he played like three different pieces.
Dude, it gets so hard when you get to that level, like disappearing into roles and shit, and like
I know.
and the ways they try to do it. Like even Johnny Depp, everyone after Pirates, everyone would just be like, "Yo, it's like what was that movie he did where he was like the mobster? Did you see that?"
Yeah, Black Mass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh, he's just doing like a Pirates." It's like, bro, like you can't. He was disappearing. He was doing his best to disappear in this thing, but once you reach a certain level, it's like
Now Brian Cox is saying after Succession he's got no anonymity anymore.
Brian Cox. Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
It's
what is that?
a problem to have.
Also a new age. It is a good problem to have, but I think a new age of everyone, no one's private anymore. So it's like, yeah, you need a really good character role. I don't know. Now the answer. Um, like stuff that I love, I'm just thinking recently, like The Crown, a lot of those actors, they're playing real people specifically, and that's when they disappear. But then again, Johnny Depp did play a real person in Black Mass, and
Yeah, dude. It's a good problem to have.
yeah, I guess so. All right, boyo.
Yo, let's I'll see you Saturday. Send me the deets.
So excited, brother. You're the best. Much love.
Time. All right, bro.
All
See you
right.
soon.